All right, so today we're going to be talking about this tiny little camera. This is the Insta360 GO II. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Desmond and I make content for creators that want to take better photos and shoot better videos. And today we're talking about the all new 64 gigabyte Insta360 GO II. This is definitely one of the smallest action cameras on the market right now, and I want to talk about why this is an incredible little piece of gear to add to your roster. So let's talk about the camera itself. This tiny little thing, this is the entire camera. It shoots in 2.7K in frame rates at 24, 30, 60, and 120 frames per second, which is pretty impressive for something so small. And what's really nice about this tiny camera is it is magnetized. So I have a magnetic pendant underneath my shirt, and that allows me to easily mount the Insta360 GO II to myself very quickly. The best thing about this is I've got a full hands-free shooting situation, and this is much lighter than, say, a classic GoPro, which when mounted to your chest via like the chesty mount strap is very heavy. So this thing is incredibly convenient. One huge thing that sets this little action camera apart from all of the other competitors out there is its charging case. The camera magnetizes itself right into the charging case, but the best thing about this is this charging case doubles as a number of things. First, you can easily connect the camera directly to the charging case, which allows you to do a number of things like change settings, frame rates, different shooting modes. All of that is available here with this simple 2-button interface. Another nice thing is, say I've got the camera mounted here and it's connected to my charging case. Well, the charging case again doubles as a wireless remote, so I can hit record and the camera will start recording and I can start and stop it right from this. Now the camera itself without the charging case can record about 20 minutes. Now when you pair that with the charging case, you get an extra couple hours out of it. So that's what's really nice about it. And all of that fits into this tiny little package, makes it incredibly easy to throw in your pocket, to carry around. Another thing is you've got these tiny little tripod legs that let you set the camera down so you can record talking head style stuff or time lapses, wherever you just want to put the camera down. So a few more things on form factor and build quality. This thing is made out of plastic, but it's really hard to tell. You've got this really nice smooth finish. It feels premium because of how dense it is. All the technology that powers this camera, the case, it's all in this tiny little package. So this feels like a very dense and hefty thing to carry, which I really like. I think the hinge feels good. The magnetic clasps that keep it closed feel really nice and premium. Obviously charges with USB-C. Thank you so much. You've got a 1/4 mount here, so you could mount the charging case to a tripod. And I'll just show you comparison. This is my GoPro Hero 10. I've got the media mod on, which makes it a little bit chunkier, but just look at how tiny the Insta360 GO II is compared to a GoPro Hero 10. And that's with the charging case. So it is very crazy. And then another comparison. These are my new AirPod 3s in a deeper end grip case, but look, it is almost exactly the same size. And the size is really something you can't get out of any other action camera. This is even smaller than the new DJI Action 2. And the reason why I finally picked this up, even though this is almost a year old, is they just released the 64 gigabyte version, and that's the one I have here. Originally, there was the 32 gigabyte version, and I will tell you, shooting with 32 gigabytes on a camera this convenient is almost pointless. It's so hard to capture a half a day's worth of footage, let alone an entire day's worth of footage if you're hiking, if you want to get time lapses, if you want to get really cool, interesting shots of the things you're doing. 32 gigabytes is really kind of a pain because you are constantly connecting it to your phone, downloading the footage, reformatting and erasing the drive so that you can record more. 64 gigs, I found this amazing. I took this on a trip to Tahoe with the family, and the nice thing is just mounted it to my chest, and occasionally when we were hiking through the forest or to the lake, I would just turn it on, let it run for 15 minutes, and I could do this multiple times. I still haven't filled up the entire memory yet, so of the 64 gigs, you get about 58 gigs of usable memory. I still have 11 gigs left, and I took this on a 2-day trip to Tahoe, occasionally recording POV shots of our hikes, just quick things here and there. But having the 64 gigabyte capacity really makes this a much more usable camera, and it takes this from a gimmick to a tool. Some other pros that I want to highlight about the Insta360 GO II, especially when you get the whole package, is it comes with a number of accessories that you can actually use right away. And again, one of them you've seen is this magnetic pendant, which, ta-da, so simple, incredibly useful, and it's just lightweight. You barely notice the camera. The other thing is people barely notice the camera. When you want to get these cool POV shots, when you want to like be out and about, be hands-free, people don't really notice this camera. They will definitely notice your big ass GoPro and your mirrorless camera or my ZV-1, but this little thing, it's really nice. Okay, back to some of the accessories that come with the Insta360 GO II. The first one I really like is this tiny little sticky mount. So here, everything works magnetically, right? But this pad is a washable, reusable sticky pad, which will let you apply it to any flat surface. It actually has a great grip, and again, I love the fact that you can wash it and reuse it, so that stickiness never goes away. When you're not using the sticky side, you throw the little cover on, and then it becomes a little handheld tripod. They recommend you use this setup when you're going underwater or you're filming somewhere wet. Another nice thing is this little camera is completely waterproof. I will note the case is not, so do not bring this thing into the pool. This, perfectly fine. The next accessory that comes with the camera, and probably one of my favorite accessories, is this little clip. And what I like to do is I like to mount this little clip to my hat. Now that it's mounted to my hat, what I really love is this. So now I've got the camera right here. I've got a great POV angle, and because this thing picks up such a wide field of view, everything is always in shot and everything is level. The stabilization that's built into this camera and that's powered by the software is incredible. So you could film in any orientation and you'll always have a perfectly leveled and stable video. What I love about the hat mount is you've got a great angle, but I can just toss this on, hit the little record button, and I can just film whatever I'm doing and my hands are completely free. Same thing with the chest mount, but sometimes I'm like shooting videos or I'm shooting photographs and my camera is in front of the little camera. So having this up here is great because I can turn, I can look, it's picking up everything. And that's what I really love about this little camera. And I think the other thing to really call out is the software. That is going to enable you to get the most out of the footage that you're recording on this little thing. You can watch a number of reviews on it. I'm not going to go in depth, but my favorite mode of this camera is shooting in pro video mode, which means that no matter what, the camera is always shooting in a massive square, which in the footage allows me to reframe either horizontally or vertically for social media. And also it allows me to stabilize and level the footage no matter the orientation of the camera. It could be upside down, it could be diagonal. You'll always get level and stabilized footage that you can reframe after the fact. And that is one of the things that makes this incredibly convenient and very powerful, especially with the 64 gigabyte upgrade, because Pro Video takes up way more memory than your standard video mode. All right, so with all that said, the new 64 gigabyte version of the Insta360 GO II runs for about $329. I'm sure there's a Black Friday sale happening right now, so you can probably get about 20 or 30 bucks off. I would take a look at the website. I will say this is worth buying now for 64 gigabytes, because in the past, the 32 gig version was $299. So an extra 30 bucks, you get double the memory, and it actually makes this a usable camera. You know, it's no longer a gimmick and it's much more of a tool, which is why this is really, really useful. I will say it's tough to compare this to, say, a GoPro Hero 10 because they're not really the same camera. This thing shoots in 5.3K. It is built completely different. It has a number of features and functions that I prefer over this tiny little camera, but if you've got one of these, this is a great companion because it's much more inconspicuous. You can mount it to your chest when you've got the GoPro mounted to a vehicle. I had this mounted to my backpack when we were hiking, and I had this on my head so that I could like get different shots at different times. And when this would eventually run out of batteries with the 20 minutes just in the camera, yeah, I've always got a GoPro, which runs for at least an hour, and then I've got additional batteries for it. But I will say this is a great companion camera to have for your action cam or your like mobile shooting setup. It's fun, it's easy, it's just inconspicuous, and honestly, this thing is so cool to use. If this is where the future of videography is going, I am all for that. All right, and that is my review on the Insta360 GO II. Thank you for watching. I will catch y'all in the next one.